I've always been more of an Alien guy than an Aliens guy. I love the claustrophobic vibe conveyed in that film, and it always puts me off thinking about what it would be like to have a xenomorph stalk you. So imagine my excitement when a game tailored to that experience was released in 2014. Now it was possible for me personally to have my face chewed on, and I was excited to say the least. Unfortunately, life is hectic, and it's been in my backlog of games to play since it came out 8 years ago. Well, no more. I just finished playing through the game, and it's time to give you my thoughts. Let's start with the story.
Vessel, the Anisadora, has recovered what we believe to be the flight recorder unit of the Nostromo.
Where?
Zeta Reticula.
Players will assume control of Ellen Ripley's daughter Amanda 15 years after the events of the first Alien film. Amanda is a full-blown engineer working for Weyland-Yutani and has a bitter air about her because her mother went missing when she was a small girl, and she was left with no answers as to why. Luckily, or unluckily, depending on how you look at it, a Weyland synthetic named Samuels approaches her to relay information of the Nostromo flight logs being discovered and taken to a massive installation called Sevastopol Station. Amanda is very interested in this considering it's the last known location of her mother, so she agrees to go with Samuels to the installation. From there, the player is met with mystery and horror that will fill the bulk of the 25-plus hour story mode. The narrative of looking for a lost loved one is inherently compelling, but to be honest, that is the only thing I cared about narratively in this game. Amanda looking for her mom is relatable, therefore I care, but I didn't find myself interested in most of the characters aboard the Sevastopol, and the reveal of what happened on the station, while cool and full of fan service, felt rehashed. With the exception of a few plot elements and some throwbacks to the '79 film, this was an uninspired narrative for an Aliens game in my opinion. This I can't say. I felt a great sense of satisfaction seeing Amanda find peace with her mom going missing, but the story becomes long-winded by the end, especially when they put Amanda in crazy dangerous situations, over and over again. Isolation is canon. If you've seen Aliens, you know exactly what happens to Amanda, so I can't help but feel like the game is being padded when you fake me out with her death multiple times. Fortunately, the story isn't a deal breaker for Isolation because the atmosphere is so good. But that's for the presentation section of the video. For now, let's take a look at the game's other saving grace, the gameplay. It's challenging to summarize the gameplay loop. This is because the pacing could have been done better in Alien Isolation. I felt like a space tourist for the first few hours after starting the game. Nothing terrible had happened yet, and I was just checking shit out around the station. Then all of that changes for the better when the Xeno arrives. You'll be running, hiding, hitting this bitch with a flamethrower, door opening. Yes, I said door opening. Whether that be through hacking or finding keycards, he will open many doors. While trying not to get eaten, of course. The Xeno's AI is highly unpredictable, so expect to get the shit scared out of you numerous times.
Oh, fucking shit! God damn it! Fuck you. How's that sound?
Just walk by, you motherfucker. Well, I'm nice and startled. I don't wanna! Please, God, not like this! Fuck! Nerve-wracking is just a statement. What I felt was a cat-and-mouse experience, and I'm the mouse. There's no way to kill the Xeno in regular gameplay, so you better get good at hiding for the first half of Isolation. After that, the game slows because you don't see the alien for large portions of the late game, solidifying that pacing problem I was talking about earlier. But who are you combating if not the Xeno? I hear you yelling at your monitors. Well, humans and working Joe synthetics, of course. Isn't that what you wanted from an Aliens game?
I'd say no, fuck you.
It's a shame the developers didn't shave this game down a little bit. The working Joes and the humans start off intimidating and hard to deal with, but by the time you reach the end game, they're just annoying, and I treated them as such.
I'm talking shit. Oh, he wants to play.
If you've managed your resources correctly, you will be hard to kill. Once I finished out my weapon wheel, I was ready for anything. I played on the second hardest difficulty, and by the end, I felt like I could punk everything, including the Xeno. I can't kill it, but I'll go toe-to-toe with that bitch.
What do you want to do, huh? What do you want to do?
This doesn't stop Isolation from feeling terrifying. With the game's manual save system, you have to be on point when playing if you don't want to lose 20 minutes to a stabbing.
Oh, Neptune. Barnacles. Dirty barnacles.
Needless to say, this along with standing in a dark hallway with my motion scanner is nothing short of horrifying, and I wish the game would have focused more on that and cut out most of the other slow sections. With isolation being lengthy, I feel like cutting a few hours off would have helped the experience. It's not like the game's short on content, being 25 plus hours long and boasting 5 DLCs. My copy of the game came with The Last Survivor and a challenge mode, with the former giving players the ability to play through a critical portion of the Alien film, while the challenge mode is precisely what you expect. Avoid the alien, do objectives, compete for high scores. Both were fun for a few hours, but after that you've pretty much seen what there is to offer. Now I could play the other DLCs for more content, but
I don't care.
I had already gotten my money's worth by the time I got to the DLCs and wasn't motivated to pursue them any further. If you want to play them, by all means, but I'm jumping into the presentation. When it comes to aesthetics and atmosphere, there's little to fault in Alien Isolation. I remember watching a making-of video for this game, and they described what they had to do to get that 70s look. Because of this, blood, sweat, and tears shine through every frame.
We had to look at a lot of different options to try and recreate the softness and fuzziness that the technology of the 70s presented. The technique that we found most effective was actually to take gameplay footage and UI elements and record them onto VHS tape, and play them back through an old portable television. And on its way we would distort the cables and stamp on the tape and generally destroy equipment in the process. And once we got that back into the game, we found that it didn't just look authentic, it was authentic.
The people over at Creative Assembly and Feral Interactive deserve all the awards they were nominated for regarding the music and level design. Just the boot-up screens are full of style, and I was having a nerdgasm when I saw the old Universal Fox logo. The developers stated they were not going to include anything in the game that couldn't be found on the original Alien movie set, and you can see that with every room that you walk into. All this old analog tech is beautiful and is the primary reason I was utterly immersed while playing. From the amazing lighting all the way down to old text on monitors, every detail was slaved over and it shows. The looks alone could have carried this game, but the Chads over in the music department went the extra mile and made a soundtrack that is not only bone-chilling, but sounds like it was ripped straight from the OG film. The only thing I can knock presentation-wise is the facial animations are a bit basic for a game released in 2014, and the voice acting is a tad forgettable. Not bad, but not great either.
Fuck you too!
Besides that, they really nailed the vibe of Aliens, and the presentation is basically perfect. Ironically, that's kind of where the game's biggest problem lies. Alien Isolation will always pick its atmosphere over its gameplay, and it works most of the time, but when it doesn't, holy god, does it become tedious. There were some points during my playthrough that I was so bored of crawling through vents and opening doors I would have rather been rubbing sand in my eyes.
I don't know if they grade it, but of course.
I'm not trying to say this game's bad, because it's not. There's some points where I felt like I was playing a masterpiece, but for every moment that feels that way, there's a matching moment that feels drawn out for no good reason. If you've made it this far in the video, you're probably wondering if I recommend this title, and the answer is absolutely. It's one of the best Alien games out there, and it goes on sale all the time for under $30. I wish they would have just cut off the indulgence. If that were the case, we'd be looking at one of my favorite games of all time. Still great, though.
Oh! Fucking God, man!